Folks, last night the Hurricanes were able to clinch their consecutive playoff berth. Just how did this happen? Find out in today's episode of Locked on Hurricanes.
You're Locked on Hurricanes, your daily podcast on the Carolina Hurricanes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I am your host, Jared Ellis, and you're listening to Locked on Hurricanes on the Locked on Podcast Network. Your team every day. And I'd like to thank you for making Locked on Hurricanes your first listen on this Friday afternoon. I forgot what day it was real quick. And as always, follow Locked on Hurricanes on Twitter and Instagram at LO_Hurricanes and myself on Ellis_96. Now, as I mentioned at the top of the episode, the Carolina Hurricanes were able to clinch their postseason berth last night against the Buffalo Sabers. They could have done this the other day on Tuesday, but they failed to do so. They gave a pretty poor effort up in Western New York in that game. And post game, every guy said that they didn't give the effort that they should. They underestimated their opponent. They thought it'd be easy win, yada yada yada. It was not. And the start of this game against Buffalo last night was pretty similar, honestly. And the Hurricanes found themselves down 2-0 early. And they're able to battle back, get the win, clinch their season berth, and all that is great, of course. But I think one thing that does worry me here is we can't be playing from behind all the time. That was an issue we had early on in the season of finding ourselves down in a hole and having to battle back, and that's how we're getting our wins. We can't be doing that come postseason time, and I think that the Hurricanes need to continue to work on their getting their offense back where it was. Defense, goaltending, that's fine. Yeah, and same with penalty kill. That's still good. It has fallen off a bit. That was something we talked about in the previous episode of just how that's effectiveness has fallen off some. It's still the top in the league, which is great, obviously, but it has fallen off a little bit. So I think the Hurricanes really need to focus on getting their offense back to the explosive levels that it was at earlier in the season. Yes, we've had our games where we've went off. You had the game in St. Louis, the game against Washington, and we've had these games where the Hurricanes offense has looked like it had all season long, but as a whole, ever since March 1st, like we talked about in the last episode, it has really petered off. And I think that that is something that they're really going to have to work at down this last little stretch of April and heading into the playoffs. Yes, we've clinched our spot with eight. Heck, in the first star interview, Jordan Stahl, he didn't even know that they clinched with this win. I think that they need to continue doing what's working well for them, because they are doing stuff that's working well. As a whole, the penalty kill is still really, really good. Goaltending's top level, and defense has been really well, and offenses show flashes of capabilities, but it has had its issues. So if they can continue to improving their offense, I think they'll be fine come playoff time, because as a whole, they have been to maintain their grip at the top of the Metro Division. And at the top of the NHL. Though, as we discussed in the previous episode, the New York Rangers have made up some ground. The Hurricanes, like I said, they've clinched their playoff spot and they're number one in the division, but New York Rangers are right behind them in the second place. And they are just 2 points behind the Hurricanes right now. Where the Hurricanes are at 71 games played, 46 wins, excuse me, 17 losses, 8 overtime losses, and 100 points. We do have that win in hand over the Rangers, but the thing about those is we got to win them if we want to maintain our lead. And I think, we discussed this the other day, looking at the Hurricanes' upcoming schedule as a whole, I think the Hurricanes can win out most of these games. Yes, we lost to Minnesota and Buffalo, but we were able to beat Buffalo. I think we Islanders tonight. Oh man, guys. I'll tell you what. Quick side note. Y'all that live outside of North Carolina, y'all are lucky. You don't have to deal with the pollinating that we deal with here. It's just a yellow haze throughout the entire state. I hate it. But anyway, back to hockey. As I mentioned, we are playing the New York Islanders tonight. We'll talk more about that game here in a little bit. Then we got Anaheim, you know, Detroit, New York, Colorado, Arizona, Winnipeg, New Jersey. Both New York teams again, and New Jersey again. We got all those teams on our upcoming schedule. And as I mentioned, the only teams that I am genuinely think that we could end up taking a loss to would be the New York Rangers and Colorado Avalanche. Those are two really good teams. So we'll just have to keep doing what we're doing and improve on our offense and get some pucks in and do what we got to do to get these wins, to break the season total in points, to clinch a second straight division title, to really make a run at the President's Trophy. I know the thing that the team doesn't necessarily care about that was talked about last season, but you look at it, we're firmly in the mix. We're one of three teams with 100 plus points. You have us with 100, Florida with 104, and Colorado with 106. So, we can do it. Just will we do it? But as I mentioned, in this game against Buffalo last night, the Hurricanes, they came out slow, and we got to get these slow starts behind us. We can't be doing that come postseason time. It's one thing right now against a team that has nothing to lose. We've clinched our playoff spot. So, yeah, you could phone it in, I guess you would say. But that's not the Hurricanes. They're not that kind of team, and they're not going to do that. They're simply not. And they're going to make a series to win this Metro division. And if they win the President's Trophy, they win it. Okay. I don't think that's a major priority for these guys, but we'll just have to wait and see how that race plays out. Colorado won it last year. We were in the mix, and Florida was in the mix, and Vegas was in the mix, but we'll just see how that plays out. But I think the Hurricanes, if they can get these slow starts and offensive issues behind them, they can easily make a run. Easily. But we got to look at tonight's game against the New York Islanders, and we do that right after this quick break. Folks, it's spring and it's getting that time of the year where it's really, really good. Folks are going outside and being active and whatnot. And if you need help with getting fit and eating healthy, Built Bar is here to help you out with that. Built Bar is the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, and Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate, whether it's one of their regular flavors, a limited time flavor, one of their puffs. They're all covered in 100% real chocolate. And Built Bars are high fiber, high protein, low calorie, and low carb. Most Built Bars contain only 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a regular candy bar, which usually has around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. And Built Bar has a whole host of flavors ranging from mint brownie, coconut almond, many more. There's going to be something for everyone. So right now you can go to built.com and use promo locked15 and get 15% off your order when you use promo code locked15 for 15% off at built.com. Now looking ahead to tonight, the Hurricanes are in the second half of a back-to-back, this time against the New York Islanders. And one thing that I didn't mention with last night's game against the Buffalo. That was also a national broadcast game. And the Hurricanes historically do play pretty bad on national broadcasts this year. I think they two of the national broadcast games that they played on, one of those wins being last night. So now they're going to be back on regular Bally Sports Southeast. So hopefully we ain't got to worry about a national broadcast curse or whatever. So that's one thing, from then the black shorts with the, red jerseys, because they did that for the first time in Buffalo with the white jerseys. Personally, not a fan of that good, and I think we played like crap too in that game, but last night they wore the black shorts and black with their red home jersey. Actually, I think they wore the black helmets as well, but yeah, that was a much better look. It really looked very much like the New Jersey Devils. So that's one thing I really didn't see anyone talking about on social media either when the Hurricanes came out in those uniforms. So yeah, they looked very New Jersey Devils with that combo. So we'll see if that sticks around. Obviously tonight it's Friday. They're going to wear all black. That's just what they. I saw some folks speculating on whether or not they'd wear the red shorts with the black jerseys. I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be all black as usual for Fridays, and we're not playing on Saturday, but they do it on Saturday too. But yeah, I think it's going to be an all black kind of night as far as uniforms go. Since I feel like we have to talk about that now because the Hurricanes are throwing some changes in there. And definitely kind of makes you wonder if they're going to do any serious changes this offseason because it's well known fact that Tom Dundon wants black to be the primary color for our home jerseys. He wants those to be the normal jerseys. So we'll see what happens with that this offseason. That'll be fun to talk about. But moving into tonight's game against the New York Islanders, if I'm not mistaken, this has been the first time we've played the New York Islanders since the home opener. We have not seen the Islanders all season long. And that is crazy stuff to think about. At least, yeah, we haven't seen the Islanders since, yeah, the home opener, October 14th, where we won 6-3. And it's April. It's April 8th, and we haven't played this since October 14th at the start of the season. That is insane to think about. Both teams are in much different places now. The last time we played the Hurricanes, obviously we have a whole lot of new faces on this team this year. So the last time we played that was like our first regular season game together. We were figuring out how to play with each other. So that's one where Now we're in this stretch to the playoffs. We've clinched our postseason berth. We know how to play with each other as a team. That home opener, you look at Frederick Anderson, not that impressive. Now he's a Vezina candidate. He's going to be a Vezina Trophy finalist this year. And it's crazy to just think how much has changed this season. It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. So, looking at this game tonight, I think that the Hurricanes are really going to have their work cut out for them when they go on the because they obviously, are the top power play unit in the league, whereas they're a penalty killing unit in the league. Excuse me. We are talking about that earlier. Hurricanes currently have an 88% rate on the penalty kill. And the Islanders are the 20th ranked power play with just a 20.1% on that. So penalty kill going to have to be that penalty kill that had been all season long, the penalty kill that we've seen since March. But where I am a little concerned is we're going up against a top 5 killing unit. The Islanders penalty kill unit ranks 4th in the NL. So we kind of been a little spoiled as of late, whereas the games we've been going up against, the penalty killing unit hasn't, been a top 5 unit in the NHL. They've been good, obviously. These are National Hockey League players. They're going to be good to some level, some just better. So that's one where I think the Hurricanes are going to have their work cut out for them. Whenever we go on the power play tonight, we're really going to have to work and earn it. And I think the Hurricanes absolutely can do that. And I think that the Hurricanes know that they have these issues that they need to work on. And they will. Fully confident that they will. It's just you look at some of these more recent games, you do get a little concerned. And I think that the Hurricanes will be able to come away with the victory in this game. And because I think that at the end of the day, they are they're feeling themselves, clinched their playoff berth, and very much how like the Buffalo Sabers, they were on their roll of getting just wins and getting clit. So I think that the Hurricanes, with them clinching their season berth and being the second team in franchise history to reach that 100-point mark of the season, I think that's going to do a lot to boost their confidence and that they will be able to translate that to tonight's game. And I think that you look at this last game against the Sabres when the crowd really got involved in that game. Obviously, PNC Arena crowds are always very make their presence known and very raucous and loud. But you look at that last game, and when they really got involved is really when the Hurricanes just started really feeding off of that energy. And I think that that coupled with, again, now them hitting that mark for the season, they got their postseason, they got the 100 points for the season. They did all of this last night after coming off, a small 2-game skid with losses in Buffalo, where in both games they really struggled. And now they got all this stuff that just happened in the last game. Heck, one thing I hadn't even mentioned is Sebastian Aho passed Jeff O'Neill for third on the Hurricanes all-time goals list, located in Raleigh. So again, that's just another thing there that just so much good happened in this last game. I think that that confidence that the team built last night is really going to help them out tonight against New York. Obviously, you got one thing working against them if it was just one game. I've said before in the season where you have, these really turning point wins and then they just go and drop another game or go on another skid. That's been kind of par for the course since March as well because it seems like, okay, they do this. Oh, they won another. Okay, now they put a crap game out there again. So obviously, it's easy to say some of this stuff, right? Because they haven't even taken the ice yet. And one other thing that against them tonight is it's the second half of back to back. Those are always hard because you're freaking tired. and, and you look at the New York Islanders last game. Their last game, yeah, was a loss to the Dallas Stars, but they haven't played since Tuesday. Maybe got a little bit more rest for them. We do not. So that'll be one thing working against us as well. New York Islanders are going to be well rested. We are not. I think that, you look at the lineup tonight, I think we'll be straight, but we'll just have to wait and see with that. And we will discuss the projected lineup or my lineup predictions right after this quick break. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all of your sports betting needs and info. Find the latest sports developments, including this week's Masters Championship odds, tests, and reviews for all of the different sports leagues this season. Carolina Hurricanes playoff is right around the corner, folks, and betonline.net is your place to go should you want to bet on those Hurricanes playoff games. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Now, the projected lineup for tonight has not been yet, but I think that you look at this, I think we will likely see similar to what we have been seeing. And I think that there's really not going to be a whole lot of changes in this game when it comes to the lineup. I think that, yeah, Spirit Cooking, I mean, he's still going to be out. And I think that the game in Buffalo that was really bad kind of hurt Steven Lawrence's shot of being in the lineup more consistently now that another having to sit. And so I don't think we'll be seeing him tonight. It sucks. He's a fan favorite, obviously. But I think, really as of late, we've been playing better with Derek Stepan. So I think you kind of got with him there on that fourth line. But top line, I see that being, you know, Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis. You could maybe see Svetch and Tavo flip there on that first and second line. You could maybe see that, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. Second line, again, that's still going to be Max Domi and Vincent Trocek. It's really just going to be a matter of the Svetch on that line with them, or do they have Tavo? I personally would have Svetch there on that line and and have Tavo up on that top line with Sebastian Aho. That's personally what I would hear, but you really can't go wrong either way, especially with kind of how the lines get blended throughout the game as well. And third line, obviously, Hurricanes' best line for the season. Nino Niederreiter, Jordan Stahl, Jesper Foss. Those guys have been ridiculously good together this year. So obviously that line will not get touched. And fourth line, like I said, it's going to be Jordan Martin, Derek Stepan, and Martin Necas. Could you see Stephen Lawrence slotting back in Stepan's place? Yes, you could see it tonight. But ultimately, I think they playing better with Derek Stepan. Keep him in the lineup. I know it sucks. We all love Stevie Lawrence, but we're here to win games too. And I know that sucks. Obviously, we all really like him. But again, we're here to win games, not win popularity tests. And that means Derek's upon play. On defense, of course, no changes there. You have Jacob Slavin, Tony DeAngelo, Brady Shea, Brett Pesci, Ian Cole, and Brendan Smith. You could see Ethan Bear, maybe. But again, just like Derek Stepan and Stephen Lawrence, we've been playing better with Brendan Smith than with Ethan Bear. So that is going to be what the Hurricanes continue to roll with. They're going to roll with Brendan Smith and Ian Cole. It sucks for Ethan Bear. It does. But we're here to win games. And really no surprise here with the goalie. I think we're going to be going with Frederick Anderson tonight. And back, Ronta started last night, was incredible for us last night, as he typically is. And Frederick will be doing the same tonight. Be stand for us and be incredible, just like he normally is. But keys to victory for tonight, I've kind of touched on some of this stuff already. And it's that the Hurricanes are really going to need their power play to really step up and count on opportunities for them. They're going against the fourth ranked penalty kill the NHL tonight. So that is going to be something that they really, really work with. So, and then goaltending, obviously, only your goalie out to dry. And don't get out to a slow start again. That's been incredibly frustrating. But if they can do all that, I think they'll be fine. I think we'll be able to come away with the win tonight and add another 2 points